Hi team, I'm Lydia Fay, your ginger gal pal, and today I think I want to have a bit of a rant. So this video is kind of like an update on my nose piercing, talking about tips and tricks that I've learned along the way, and just me complaining about how much of a ball ache it is. Stay tuned. Okay, so basically the deal is that back in October, October, because I did it for Vlogtober last year. I got my nose pierced because I'm cool and edgy and whatever. It's something that I wanted to do for a really long time, but the healing process is just annoying. So today I'm going to be, well, where'd it go? That's a good start. So I have a new piercing that I want to change into, finally. Going from the whole stud to a hoop is a whole nother issue. So this will be entertaining for you that just like watching my videos. It's going to be a bit of a laugh. Or if you have a piercing yourself or you're thinking about getting a piercing, please stay tuned because you might benefit from something that I say in this video. So basically, I wish someone told me what a ball ache it is, because getting your nose pierced, like it doesn't hurt that much. I think my eye watered because it's like kind of like popping a pimple. I did a whole video about when I got it done. I'll link that down below if you want to catch up on that first. But basically, ever since, it's just been catching on things, or like I'll bump it and it gets aggravated, and there's a whole, like, I did do a bit of research, so I knew that you could get, they're called keloid? So you can get these little red bumps on your nose when they're aggravated and when they're healing. So basically there are different types. So if you are unsure and it does get a bit much and it starts hurting, please go see a piercing specialist, because it might be something a lot more. But basically the main one I heard was when the scar tissue inside of your nose is like bubbling over, it doesn't stay inside the hole, if that makes sense. It kind of like has nowhere to go, so then it forms that bump on top of the piercing. In which case, when that happened, the solution that I found was standard tea tree oil. So some people say that this is quite harsh. It's only like, so it's only 15% actual tea tree oil, because pure tea tree oil would burn your face off. But I found this really helped me. It had like a bit of a stinging sensation when it went inside the actual piercing hole while it was recovering. But I think this was, I didn't use it all the time because it definitely dried out a lot of like skin around my nose. So I'd use that every time it looked a bit like, if I snagged it and it got a bit like aggravated, I'd be like, calm down. So, you know, give it a go. Might not work for everyone, but that was my savior. Also a bit of organic coconut oil. This is like a big jar because I use it for moisturizer as well. But I like this because it's like a natural anti-inflammatory disinfectant. What am I trying to say? And since it's moisturizing, it would like soothe all the dryness I had around the nose piercing. And then I feel like it was a good way to like safely clean out my hole. Yeah, that's that about like cleaning. I feel like I have less flare-ups now. It has calmed down because it's been like 8 months. So she's pretty healed by this point. They say it takes like 6 to 12 months, I think. 12 months for it to like properly heal and all that shit. But everyone's impatient. Like, you want to look bomb ass straight away. And I feel you, girl. So then we come on to jewelry. This has been a fucking nightmare. So I don't know why I went into Claire's, and like, side note about cleanliness care, I was given like Claire's cleaning spray for like ear piercings, and the girl was just like, yeah, use it on your nose. Don't use it on your nose, it does not work. A lot of people use like salt baths, or at times I have used like chamomile tea. I like brew it and then put it on, and that kind of calms it down when it's like being aggravated. I got these, and I'm gonna show up on camera very well. It's like a retainer, so it's plastic, it's clear. So I got that from Claire's, and I was wearing those for a while. This is such a saga. Now that I'm going through it, I'm just like, can I put this all in one video? Because it's like 8 months of my life wasted. No, I'm kidding, I love it. I thought I was doing the right thing because it will like, I don't know why. I think it was like clear, so it was subtle, and I was just like gonna forget about it, put it in and be like, whatever. And use a stud, wait for it to heal, and then finally put in my hoop. But that wasn't the case. I then went to like a piercing shop in Manchester City, and the lady was like, no, you shouldn't put like plastic in when it's healing. Like, it's fine if you've got an event or something and you need to conceal your piercing, but you shouldn't have it in while it's healing or all the time or whatever. So we took that shit out. So then we got like bougie jewelry. We've got the stud that I got in now. Got another stud option. It's like a little diamond. So the jewelry itself is like straight. I meant to like push it in and then like create the hook, but that was too hard for me, so I just made the hook and like put it in. So then also with that, this was stupid, but I thought I was gonna be like a cool hipster gal, and I got this one. So this was meant to be like my, this one was meant to be my like gold piece. It's a hoop, it's got like bedazzle on it. So I've put it in just so you can see it like loosely sitting against my skin. Like that ain't it, hun. Like I went to put it in because it's the right material and it's the right gauge size and it's a hoop. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's gonna look so cute. But then I'm like, no. So we haven't used her. But that brings me to my next jewelry purchase of wasting money. We then got this bag girl. She is made of surgical steel, so she's a bit of a darker color. Can you see the difference a little bit on camera? That one's kind of like a light silver on top and the other one's quite dark. This has been a real learning curve for me, because the other thing is with the continuous hoops, you can't open it up by going like that and hooking it in. You have to kind of, this is so, so instead of going like that and opening it up, you have to like bend it side to side and open it like that, so you can hoop it through and then you keep the same circumference, you can close it together. That being said, when you like want the tight ones that sit against your face, once you put that in, they're so small to begin with anyway, because the circle size is 6mm, because that would press up against my nose perfectly. But the material, it's so hard to explain, but the material itself is quite hard to like, it's hard with nails as well, but it's quite hard to close it. Like, ugh, I can't, it's hard to convey over camera, but I can barely push this together with my fingers when it's out of my nose, let alone when it's in my nose and I'm struggling and like, ugh. So that's a no. So that's another thing to consider. So surgical steel, anything that's steel, is quite stiff and hard to bend, whereas the jewelry that I'm going to be putting in today, and this one that I've got, is sterling silver. So it's a lighter color. It's not steel, it's silver, sterling silver. So quite common with jewelry, but it's so easy to bend apart, like it bends like butter. Again, it's hard to explain via camera, but it's just so easy to move. So that, again, once you put it in your nose, it will be much easier to manipulate back into place when you're struggling to do it by yourself. Again, another option is to go into a piercing shop, pick out jewelry, and then put it in. If you bring jewelry from somewhere else and ask a piercer to do it, they might charge you or might refuse to do it, I don't know. Go check with your local piercer. But in times like this, it's been so hard because all the piercing places are closed for 2020, and you know what that meant. So I've been trying to get them online. That's why when I got the steel option, I was like, oh, this is so hard to bend. Like, I didn't know that. So I reached out to Simply Alice. So she a little cutie on Etsy. I'll leave her link down below. So she is who I got my new piercing from, and I reached out and like, sis, what's the deal? Like, this is too hard to bend. What metal should I use? There's so many things you have to learn when you have a piercing, like the gauge size, the width, like the width of the piercing or the hole, the diameter of the circle, and like what it's made of and what material. So if you're looking to have like a really cute tiny hoop, I 100% suggest getting sterling silver rather than steel products, so they'll be easier to manipulate and close and apply yourself. Because there's been so many times I've been trying to put in other ones and I'm just like wincing and I'm like, oh, I can't find it, I can't close it. Like, it's just ridiculous. If I had my time again, I think I would have gotten a fake piercing from Amazon or eBay, there's so many of them, and tried that first, being like, is this for me? Or even like want it for YouTube videos or want to go out and things like that, because in your day-to-day life it's really annoying to have like an open wound on your face. Think about it, you've got an open wound on your face. That's so stupid. What's wrong with me? I'm almost 30 and I'm making shitty decisions like this. But if you're a 16 and you want to do it, like, go do it with your parents' consent. Yeah, I'm gonna need a bit of concentration, and it's gonna look like I'm picking my nose and looking a bit weird. So I'm going to go do, I might cut between doing things off camera and doing things on camera, but we're gonna change my piercing, the moment you've all been waiting for. Oh, now I'm all hot and nervous. Lydia, you can do this. Okay. She's halfway out, looking cute. And that's the open wound on my face. It's so dry. Ew. I'm gonna go ahead and clean my wound, clean the jewelry, make sure everything's a-okay. So I'm opening up the jewelry the correct way, side to side.
2 weeks later.
So I am happy to report that I finally have a nose hoop. So it's actually been some time since I initially started putting in my new nose hoop. I tried for over an hour and then I came to the realization that I actually had the wrong gauge size. So the hoop I was trying to put in was way too big for the size of my hole, the size of my piercing. So I then hit my girl Alice up again. I'm like, yo girl, can I have a size 22? I've discovered that's my gauge size, if anyone still cares. Because when I went to the jewelry shop in Manchester in the city, I was talking gauge sizes and she was talking in millimeter sizes. So I unknowingly got a 22 gauge instead of the 20 gauge, which I'm not mad at. It was just a miscommunication. So I actually didn't know what piercing size I had ended up with, but unknowingly I went down a size. Bada bim, bada boom, that arrived, I put it in and I'm loving it. It's been in for a few days now. So from this journey we've learned material matters, gauge size matters, and number one tip for putting in hoops, I used a tweezer to kind of follow it through to keep like pushing it around because my fingers and my nails were too big. And then to close it, I actually used 2 tweezers and like pushed it together. So yeah, number one tip, know your gauge size, know your material, and use tweezers. They're your best friend. And also be patient with yourself. Pour yourself a glass of wine, eat a block of chocolate, whatever it is you do to chill the f out, and be patient because it does take time. I'm sure people with piercings for many, many years are experienced at it and they can change their jewelry really quickly, but if it's your first time, be patient with yourself. So that concludes this saga for now. I am quite happy with this hoop. It hasn't caught anything so far, so I'm gonna leave it in, see how I go. If I change it, decide to close up my nose piercing, I guess I'll update you guys again. But until then, I'm kind of happy with it and we're gonna chill with this for now. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below, and if you've got a piercing story of your own, please do share. Subscribe to my channel to stay up to date with the latest and greatest, but that's enough ginger for one day. Bye guys.